Welcome to a brand new City Skylines series, Canadian Moose's take on the One Tile Challenge. Huge shout out to Jazz who made this entire thing possible. We're going to be playing with harbor-only connections to get people into the city, and we will be building out a Dutch city. Unlike other one-tile challenges, we're going to make this into a proper City Skylines series here, where we build and detail a very realistic, functional Dutch city within the confines of one tile. Jazz had this map and sent it over to me. You can see it over on his channel and what he's been up to in building. All of the links for that are going to be in the description below, and I really suggest you check it out. Jazz is a huge friend of mine, massive supporter, and just an absolute heckin' legend who made this entire thing possible. So why am I choosing a Dutch city, you might be asking? I'm in love with the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands is incredible. I'm a avid cyclist myself over here in Vancouver. Love their bike infrastructure. Very jealous of their bike infrastructure. And yeah, I just love the Netherlands. I love the architecture. I love what they do. I love the water. I love everything about it. I have yet to find a Dutch city that I would consider ugly. People have tried. People have sent me suggestions over on Twitch, but I haven't found one yet. So the goal of this series is to build out a very realistic, functional Dutch city as best as a Canadian, can. I am going to be doing a lot of research on it, but I'm calling upon you, the Dutch community. Yeah, educate me. Let's learn together. I'm very curious to learn more about the Netherlands and expand my knowledge on, honestly, one of my favorite places outside of Canada, a place that I would love to visit in the future, and a place that, funny enough, I almost moved to Amsterdam. But that's a story for another time. We're kicking this off the way, you know, most Dutch cities would, with a beautiful canal leading up to the gorgeous church. The cool thing about the church asset that you're seeing that'll be the main focus of this project is it's actually from Utrecht in the Netherlands. So we have our sort of main piece is actually going to be a one-to-one church from the Netherlands. Utrecht being one of my favorite Dutch cities. You know what? Let's get this out of the way because I imagine that this might I don't know, maybe upset some Dutch viewers, maybe. Here is my list of my top 3 favorite Dutch cities. Utrecht, Alkmaar, and Zwolle. My 3 favorite Dutch cities, and I hope I'm not butchering the pronunciations too horribly. Yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm super nervous to put this project out there. It's something that I've wanted to do for a little bit here. I've been having this Dutch itch, and with the announcement that City Skylines 2 won't have, I was about to say Dutch cities in it. It won't have any Dutch cities because there's no bikes on launch. I thought, you know what better send-off than a beautiful Dutch city to accompany rural Canada A on my as we wrap up, you know, City Skylines. I'm sure I'll still do more in the future, but there'll be a shift when City Skylines 2 comes out. If you're new here and you're finding the channel from this video, we have a regular series here called Rural Canada A, and as the name suggests, it's based in Canada, in the Okanagan, and follows the lives of the people in this small little rural Canadian city that we build together. So it's a storytelling project along with a build city project thing. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Super excited for this new series here. I know it's pretty early on in my City Skylines YouTube career to start a second series, but I don't care. I had the Dutch itch. I wanted to put this out there. I think it's cool. So if I throw it out there, you know, if I think it's cool, maybe somebody else does. Or maybe this is not cool. I don't really care. I'm putting it out there because I think it's a fun build idea and content that I would be interested in if somebody else made it. So, you know, what the heck, right? Let's give our shot at this and see how we do. So here's the starting layout of it. We're using a lot of epic lurker stuff. And actually, you know what? Another huge shout out to, because I did a Dutch city over on Twitch, and the Dutch community behind City Skylines came and has helped me so much. Obviously, Jazz has mentioned at the start. But somebody that's actually not Dutch, but did a Dutch project, Jeremy Thunder, who did Vogelstad. That series has been so inspirational to me. But he sent me an asset, and I don't know if I'm going to get to use in this project because it is bigger than the church. I'm going to keep it a secret for now. It's from The Hag. But I'm going to keep it a secret for now. Jeremy Thunder sent me a really cool exclusive asset that he never ended up releasing. And I've got it in my back pocket there. Maybe it'll make an appearance. Who knows? So we're coming in, and I know that there are canal assets that are Dutch canals that are very common in, well, Dutch cities. But I like doing them myself. I don't like I don't like using canals in this game. I prefer terraforming networks because they allow me to get a more I guess realistic look to it, and I can kind of craft the canals to be whatever I want. They're not confined to this canal asset, and while you can use node controller on it, I just get a lot more creative freedom when I'm using terraforming networks, and I've been able to craft a lot more realistic looking canals when I've done this in the past before as well. So on this map, Jazz does have a tram connection now. We're obviously going for a much smaller Dutch city here. And as mentioned in my top 3 Dutch cities, those are the cities that we'll be taking inspiration from for this project. I don't know if we'll be doing, because it's a harbor-only connection, so I don't know that we'll be doing rail in here. Like, it's not big enough. Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing rail, which is unfortunate because I'd love to mess around with rail, especially doing a European build where there's trains, man. In the West Coast here in Vancouver, they just hate trains, and it's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is, and it would have been really fun to work with that. But there are trams, so maybe we do, like, some historic tram or something. But yeah, this could be a project where I reach out to you guys a lot, and while I'm going to do stuff that I think is cool, share your thoughts, and let's build this city together through the ideas that we share together. Yeah, just about what you guys would like to see, and yeah, I don't know. I want to hear from all of you. I'm very, very excited to put this out there. Super nervous. This could go either way. People will enjoy it, or I butchered it, and if I did, and that's the case, I'm sorry. But I have tried to do a lot of research on this because the end goal is to kind of create something where it's, you know, pays homage to Dutch architecture and Dutch cities, but like if you're from the Netherlands, I want you to feel like you have a home in this build, if that makes sense. Like, it's obviously not one-to-one, but I don't know, maybe it feels like something to you. It's a reason why whenever I share on Reddit, on the City Skylines Reddit there, whenever I share screenshots, I don't say what inspired me, because I want you to choose what you think is, you know, this build looks like. Like, if I put out a screenshot there of Vancouver, and Vancouver inspired me, but then somebody comes in, like, I don't want them to be like, oh yeah, this is Vancouver, it's only Vancouver. Whatever my screenshots or my builds or my videos, whatever the cities are that I create, whatever they remind you of, that's what they are. Like, I want it to be whatever you think this is. And let's come up with a name for this, because Rockdale, I don't think, is the most Dutch name. But let's come up with a name for this city together. I've done Elandstad in the past, and for those that don't know Dutch, I don't know Dutch either. I just use Google Translate. But Eland is the color, or Eland, I'm probably butchering it, and I really do apologize for if I say any of the pronunciations wrong. But Eland is translates to elk in Dutch. They don't have moose. The closest I could get is Eland's the closest word that would translate to moose in Dutch. So Elandstad is what we had done in the past, which is Elk City, essentially Moose City. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you have any name suggestions. Let me know below. And let me know what your thoughts are on this project. Was it a silly, crazy idea? Do you enjoy it? I want to hear from all of you. Feedback's going to kind of fuel this this series here. Either way, though, at the end of the day, I'm super excited to just throw this out there because I'm trying to get more into doing things. I've spent a lot of my time, if you're in the Discord, you've probably seen or been to any of the Twitch streams, I use polls a lot and maybe too much. And I've been really trying to this year to sort of build the things that I think are cool, that, like, if I saw somebody do this, I'd be like, damn, I should have done this. Like, I can't believe, you know, kicking myself over not coming up with this idea. And that's the kind of content that I want to create for all of you. And maybe it's crazy and silly, but maybe it's cool. You know, I don't know. I think it's cool. So what the heck? Let's throw it out there and see what other people think, you know? But yeah, so here we are coming in. This asset here, I believe, is from the Hague. I forget the actual name of the building here, but I thought what I thought would be really cool is if it's up against the water. I've seen a lot of buildings in the Hague, or not a lot, but there's one in particular that you're seeing on screen here that sits pretty much like it's on the water, right? The water comes up to it. Likewise, you can also see examples here in Utrecht where they have houses, or I assume they're houses, Again, I'm sure people will correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. But houses that just sit up against the water that I think is really cool. And playing with the water in this game is a pain, but it's also just kind of cool. I don't know. I'm really excited to do this. And I want to do lots of buildings that interact with the water in, I don't know, sort of different or weird or unique ways. So I'm going to come in here with ploppable surfaces to try and hide some of these holes that you're going to see that sort of appear at the bottom underneath the bridge. For some reason, when I convert that road network to a bridge segment, it warps the texture of the brick, which is interesting. So, yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but, you know, it's what it is. Also, fun fact, I believe in the time-lapse part of this, no, sorry, the live play. We're in the time-lapse. The live play, I'm gonna get better at mix those two up all the time in rural Canada, eh? But in the live play portion, we have an issue with this canal with the water. Not the one that you're currently seeing, but the other one that we're gonna detail up coming up in the episode. And I actually solved it. It was because of a terraforming network that wasn't set up properly, or wasn't like the distance it needs to be. So you're going to see a part in the live play where I sort of talk about, the water's like, I don't know what's going on here. If anybody knows, let me know. I solved it. It's done. Ignore that part. I ended up fixing it. It's all fine. But yeah, I really like the way that different canals work in the Netherlands, and I really, for some reason, like really small canals. I don't know what it is. There's just something about, like, when you have this big canal that shifts down to the smaller canal and you know, water interacting with the buildings. I just think it's cool. It sounds super nerdy hearing myself say it. I love it. I think it's really cool, and I love the way that the Dutch work with water in their cities. And it's just, I think the Netherlands is one of the most beautiful places in Europe, and absolutely my most, like, the top of my bucket list to visit. What I really would love to do is take my bike and go, and maybe take my cat and go biking around Europe, you know, taking trains from city to city, but within the city using bike as my method of transport. I think that'd be super cool. But for now, I can try and build something cool that's different on, you know, in City Skylines on YouTube. So the big thing that I'm going to do here is I want to try and get the heights right off the bat. There's varying heights that I've seen across cities in the Netherlands. Some have very, or are very tall and like high up above the water, and other cities, you know, not as much. But generally, they're at, you know, medium height above the water there. So I want to try and capture that. And the cool thing about these networks is you can kind of try and line it up with a lot of the stuff that I'm using by Epic Lurker, because it has the mossy, slimy sort of texture to it, which is freaking amazing. Like, this is not possible without the amazing asset creators. Epic Lurker started it, and Jazz has just kick-started this. We got Dutch Cheese, who's just, oh my god, Dutch Cheese's stuff is mind-blowing. But yeah, such talented people. So we're going to come and start placing down the buildings that are going to define the old town here. Now, we're confined to one tile, and within this one tile, I want to try and capture everything. So for the Dutch people out there that are watching this, you're going to have to suspend, you know, realism and in certain parts of here, because we're going to have to confine a lot of stuff. Like, I want to do Dutch suburbia. I want to have a little bit more modern areas. Maybe some sports ball teams up in here as well too, right? And so I'm going to have to compact all of this within a small play area. So it's going to lead to districts changing pretty rapidly from, you know, say Old Town to modern to planned out suburbia. But yeah, I want to capture all of that. I want to do the things that, like, this is why I think Dutch building is really cool and why I want to do it in City Skylines and on a YouTube series. I want to capture all of those ideas within this and work with all the assets that are available to me on the workshop. But the Old Town is definitely the part that I'm probably the most excited about, just because the assets for it are phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal assets, which has me just, yeah, so excited. So we're going to touch up the road there, just get that lining up with the buildings a little bit better, adjust our little canal lock there, and get that lined up a little bit there as well too. Man, these assets are just so freaking cool. And in this episode too, we're going to build a Vissmarkt, which I'm very excited for. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking cool. We got like a asset from Alkmaar too, like the actual Vissmarkt from, I believe it's the actual asset from the Vissmarkt in Alkmaar, once again, huge courtesy to Jazz for that, which is just so damn exciting. So it's right there. What I just did there, moving that node over, is what causes the water issues, and all I had to do was put it back to where it was. So I'll have to find like the sussiness in the terrain and adjust that. But that's what ended up causing the sussiness in the water that you're going to hear me discuss in the live play. I moved it back, waited a little bit, and it fixed everything. So the canal issue that we talk about, it's all completely fine. Also, fun fact, that little road that I placed there, that with like the two red things, that is called Vissmarkt. I'm probably butchering it, but Vissmarkt is a very cool idea. We do, I guess, Vissmarkt here, but the opposite. So Vissmarkt is a road where bikes are priority. Bikes and cars share the road, but bikes get priority. We have that all the time here in Vancouver, where bikes and cars share the road. Except it usually results in, unfortunately, fatalities, or cars are the road, and the bike is merely a guest, and you use it only if you have to. Gosh, would love to visit the Netherlands and just experience it. It's not terrible here. I live in a city that has incredible bike infrastructure by North American standards, and even honestly by Netherlands standards. But it's not perfect. And the Netherlands isn't this utopia either. But it's sure as heck a lot better than, a lot of North American cities there. So I'm going to come in here and mess with the water, because I saw it doing something sus, and it's going to come up a lot. Basically, TLDR, sus is fixed. Sus is no more. I talk about sus a lot. It's just fine. It all just ends up being fine in the end, off camera, of course. But no, I'm really happy with this opening layout, and I'm really, really excited for this series. Once again, this series will not impact Rural Canada A. So if you are a Rural Canada A fan, don't really care for this series, do not worry. The plan going forward, now I'm saying this and I'm a bit nervous about it, but the plan is Monday, Rural Canada A, Friday, City Skylines Netherlands episodes. So that's the goal. I'm going to try and stick to it. What might happen is a Saturday release instead. But for now, expect Rural Canada A to come out Monday at 10 a.m. PST, and expect City Skylines Rural Canada A to come out at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. PST, and City Skylines Netherlands to come out at 9 a.m. PST on the Friday. And that's so that these can line up with my stream, so that when the video goes live, when the video's done, when the premiere's done, I'm live on Twitch. So come check it out. Come say hi. I know there's a disconnect between YouTube and Twitch sometimes, but come say hi, man. It's super, super cool. I love it when people stop by that found me from the YouTube. So here we are creating the Vissmarkt. So the Vissmarkt, from my understanding of it, is a fish market. Or like where the fishermen come on boats to drop off the fish, which is why you see that back door at the back of the asset. So they'd park their boat, they'd go through the door and drop their fish. And I believe that they sold their fish there. Like the fish was sold there. So the one that we're building is inspired by Alkmaar, and it's actually a sort of discontinued one. So it used to be a Vissmarkt, and now it's just a seating area for a cafe. So it's like a historically preserved area. Likely there'd be stuff where you could like learn the history of the Vissmarkt there, but the history is like the buildings itself are preserved, and they're just like seating now for the cafes and shops and whatnot that are around it. And then coming in here, I figured, okay, so nobody's moving in yet. Maybe there's something wrong with the harbor connection, but I didn't think there was. Jazz had it set up perfectly and it works for his city. It was because we had no services, like at all. Nobody's gonna move in without services, even if we play modded. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do something that's gonna be like a water tower lighthouse little thing for the entrance to the city there, to incorporate it so that you can see like there's where water's from. Here's a little sewage plan, and I want to figure out how I can do it a little bit better, but it's gonna be out there somewhere blended. And then we're gonna come in and place the city services. And what you saw me working on earlier with the wind turbines, and we maintained them within the one tile. So it's stretched pretty far, but the wind turbines and everything so far is within this one tile, and that's the goal. You can only play within this one tile. We cannot go out. We've only unlocked one tile, and we will not be unlocking anything else with it. So again, the one tile challenge remains intact, but I wanted to give it my own approach of just like a realistic Dutch city within one tile that has harbor only connection to the outside world. The rest of the the Netherlands. Like, you could hypothetically think that the Hague is off in the distance there and some ferry terminal there. So here comes our city services, and we'll blend them a little bit better, but I wanted to get them in so that we could get people moving into the city in episode 1 here and get people, just like, within the city, moving around, doing things, so that it is, fully functional and fully, we can show that functionality. We talk about it, but let's show it, right? So here we are. I'm going to 3-speed it, and we're going to wait until hopefully, boom, there it is. People moved in. Everything's functioning with a harbor-only start. I'm so excited. We can officially say City Skylines Netherlands is a go because we got people in. But the episode's not done, so, come back, everybody. I know it sounded like we were going to wrap up the episode there. No, we're still, come back. It's okay. We're still here doing the things. So yeah, here we are, more asset place, and look around at the assets that we have. Love these assets, but they felt a little bit more suburbia to me, despite the fact that the style kind of looks like something that would probably fit in. Got a bunch of assets though, and I'm subbed to the same collection that Jazz uses. Again, man, I'm going to talk about Jazz all the time. Jazz, this series doesn't exist if it's not for Jazz. Huge thank you to Jazz, who made this entire series possible by creating the map for it. Which is just so freaking cool. And then like crazy assets for it too, like so many amazing assets that just like make this entire thing possible. Really excited about this Albert Heijn asset as well too, and I think it's so cool. And I founded Albert Heijn, I believe, in Volendam, maybe it was in Volendam. No, maybe it was Horn actually. That is about that size and functional, because typically Albert Heijns that I've seen are more like bigger supermarkets. Really cool to find like a small functioning Albert Heijn in the world, because we're going to make that our Albert Heijn for this entire city that does function. Maybe we'll do a bigger one if we get to, I don't know, it's one tile. Let's take it episode by episode. I understand that these assets are a lot older. Like, I didn't see any of this at any of the Dutch markets that I looked at. But the way it works is you have your church. Church is the tallest building. Nothing's allowed taller than it for Dutch cities, right? And then in front of the church, you have your market. And this is typical for most Dutch cities. This is how the core looks. As you can see here in Groningen, you can sort of see how, kind of what it is that we're talking about here. So coming back in here, I know that these assets are definitely, they're older than what I've seen, right? This isn't typically what you see. I think they look cool. Now, I'm going to pull this out to you, the audience, throw this out there. If you don't like these assets and you think I should use something else, let me know. Although, if I'm being honest, thinking about it now, like, I think I'm just going to keep these assets. And then we found this super cool organ asset, again, from Jazz, who made this. It's not on the workshop yet. The street organ. Holy heck and heck. Listen to this. Isn't that crazy? Like, what the, like, that street organ sounded like, it's super cool. Hey, and then we had the asset for it too, which is awesome to have that in there. That statue that you saw me place as well too, that I converted to PO, is from Alkmaar. Huge thank you to Don B, who made that asset. So we have an actual statue there in front of the church, in front of the market. That is from Alkmaar, which is super cool. Two Dutch gentlemen and some cheese. Which is so cool. I love cheese too, by the way. Like, I freaking love cheese. So, like, another reason why I should be doing... I love cycling. I love cheese. I love Dutch architecture, Listen, if anybody wants to sponsor me to move out there, I'd be happy to. Yeah, you're going to hear me romanticize a lot about the Netherlands in this series because, man, it's just a super cool place, dude. Just such a cool place. Love the Dutch people. Love the Dutch, love the Dutch. So here I come in with Dutch cheese assets, these beautiful, beautiful speed bumps. I'm not sure if I'm going to color them and try and match it up to the texture of the brick. I have done that in previous projects before, or a previous city before, and I just wasn't happy with the overall project. And even though the bricks of these speed bumps are different, like it's a different color, obviously, as you can see, I still think it kind of works. I don't know. I'm torn on it. if I'm going to, you know, keep it or change it. For now, we'll just keep it as is. And for those wondering about what that asset is, so that's a Dutch speed bump. So the lines there denote that that is a speed bump. And a big thing that we're going to do here is level crossing. So a common thing that will happen in Dutch infrastructure is you'll have, and I think it's everywhere. I don't think it's just a common thing. I think it happens throughout Dutch infrastructure, is level crossings. And the idea behind that being that a car drives up to a crosswalk, meaning that it elevates up to a crosswalk. So people have a level crossing to cross on to help identify that the car is in a pedestrian area, right? This is a pedestrian zone, not a car zone, right? So the car drives up. And I think level crossings are a great sort of, I think they're a great idea. We don't have many of them here in Vancouver. But yeah, I think they're a cool idea. I don't know the statistics behind it and like how successful they actually are at like preventing anything that could happen, you know, tragedies between cars and pedestrians. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're a cool idea. So we're going to be doing a lot of that, big emphasis on like the cool speed bump assets, but also, you know, level crossings within this project here. So yeah. And man, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. Throw this project out there, get roasted in the comments about, you know, pronunciation and, you know, things that I'm wrong on, but get educated. You know what I mean? I'm very excited to get educated, sort of on, you know, even more and expand my knowledge on the Netherlands. So we're going to come in here and do probably the most important thing that we do this entire build. We couldn't end an episode without doing this. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't be okay. I'd probably get completely canceled off of YouTube. We have to include bikes every heckin' where. My God, I need all the bikes. You know what I mean? All of them, every bike. So we're gonna come in here and fill this up with bikes galore, and then I'm gonna spam this collection, this PO. Now, the only reason that I'm using PO for this is that I can get better render distance, and this is important for visuals, like the ending cinematics, well, pretty much just the cinematics. And I guess when I fly around a building, because I want the bikes to be visible from everywhere. No matter how far I zoom out, bikes are visible is kind of the goal there with this. So we're going to make this super messy, fill this up, and then we are going to spam this everywhere. Get the bikes in. Everywhere is going to be bike friendly. We're going to have a lot of pedestrian only corridors in here. Well, bike and pedestrian corridors throughout this city. But yeah, big thing is because this is meant to be a detailed, realistic series within the one tile city challenge formula. And so spamming bikes everywhere here, getting as much of that infrastructure in as we can, or the bike aesthetic. I shouldn't say not infrastructure, but as much of the visual representation of people parking bikes throughout the city that I can. And we're going to be doing lots and lots of this as it is a detailed, realistic project within City Skylines here, to get all of that stuff in there. And yeah, just make it look, you know, realistic with all the bikes, because my God, is it insane in the Netherlands. It's just, wow. It's really cool to see, though, and you know, see all this active bike culture within an entire country. You know, it's so cool. But yeah, we're near the end of the time-lapse portion here. Gonna place some trees here. Actually, real quick, let me know, does this tree make any sense here? Because I'm thinking, the more I think about it, the roots, like where are the roots gonna go, right? The trees on the canal smaller are fine, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's a little bit sus. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up the episode and head into, or sorry, we're not wrapping up the episode. We're wrapping up the time lapse, and we're gonna head into the live play. So Moose 2 is gonna come in. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh my God. Before we do that, real quick here, just want to touch on this real quick. So this is a seat prop. Nobody sits on it, but you can use this built-in thing called seat? I think it's called seat site, something like that. That little cube there, push it down, people will actually go to it and sit at it. It's really cool. I use it all the time to encourage Sims to move in certain areas they wouldn't move because they go to that asset. And so people will actually sit in that, which is really cool. We're going to make this a Vissmarkt area more functional and come to life as the cafes and shops around are able to, that's what it becomes, right? It's a Vissmarkt historically, that's preserved, and it's now seating area for all the diners and coffee shops and all that stuff all around here. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. The final detail in here as we fill that out. And I'm going to be back with you all shortly here for the live play. And we're going to talk more on this super cool project that I'm so excited to share with all of you. Welcome back, everybody, to the live play portion of the episode. Hope you've been enjoying this sort of new venture, new series. Rural Canada A isn't going anywhere, so do not panic. I have no idea what this boat's doing, but, I mean, that's kind of a cool move. You know, it's, I'd say 10 out of 10. It didn't hit anything. It did a cool spin. You know, if there's anybody tourists here, they're impressed. I'd be impressed. But yeah, here it is. So they do come in. I haven't looked at this, right? Jazz sent me the file for this, and I hadn't booted up or got a city going to see how the port functions, the harbor, the marina. But this is so cool. And then it comes in, stops there. It doesn't, like, man, he nailed this because it doesn't clip through anything. And there it is. And then where do... Okay, so it clipped through there a little bit, but like, who cares? That's fine. What I'm curious about is where do... And they just come out there, like right out the start. Oh, you know what this reminds me of that we didn't do yet at all is because that's why they have pocket cars. Ideally, they're not going to have pocket cars coming out of here, which would have been super cool for the episode, because what we forgot to do is come in here and let's go with high simulation. Everything else is fine. Minor complaints. Not disable despawning, but enable advanced vehicle AI, 25%. Realistic parking. That's what would have solved that. And then the policies high. Actually, this stuff doesn't really like matter for what for what we're built in. But yeah, they come out like right out the front of this building. That's so cool. Wow. Yeah, and there it is. We got people into the city. A one-tile Dutch city with a like harbor only start. So that's, yeah, wow. I don't know, I think this is super cool. Super fun little thing that we can do alongside Rural Canada A there as well. But yeah, really excited. So it's going to be a very detailed project, as you can as you can sort of see here. Also, which is the button? I had to change these buttons up, and now unfortunately I can't spell out my beautiful cat's name properly. Alright, there it is. The people are coming in. I need Surface Painter mod, as mentioned. Gonna come in, get that so that we can have it, because that's our brick texture. Isn't that cool? Exact same brick texture as the other stuff. So yeah, super cool. Excited for this. I know it's like a slower start, but this is going to be a slower series because it's going to be really focused on the detail. I've done a lot of research on previous Dutch projects that we've done before, and I put a lot of time and research into this build, and will be continuing that because I want to try and be as accurate as I can. I want all of you, if there's Dutch viewers out there watching this, educate me. Let's learn together. But yeah, I do put a lot of research into this just to make sure that things look realistic. And I just want people from the Netherlands to feel like this feels like home somewhere. Like it's a fictional city, but I don't know, maybe it could exist in the Netherlands somewhere. And if this feels like anything to you, I know it's early, we haven't really built that much, I get it, but if this feels like anything to you at all, let me know. I love that stuff. It's why when I share screenshots on Reddit, I never say what it's based on for me, because I like hearing what people think it looks like to them, And I gotta figure out, I have no idea what's going on with the water here. I assume, actually, you know what? While we're here in the live play, this is the asset, right? No. Really? No, that's the surface. This is right here is the asset. Okay. If I convert it to PO, does that change the water? Let's see. We got on 3 speed. Does that change the water at all? Let's see. We're on 3 speed. Nah, it doesn't change it at all, eh? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what's going on here. I've seen it do this a couple times, but I'm not totally sure what it is. I wonder, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to come in and figure that out. If anybody knows what's causing this, let me know. I'd love to get that sorted and fixed. It's like as if there's something blocking it, but we don't really have... yeah, I don't know. There's nothing there blocking it. So I'd be curious to figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, it's something that honestly, I'll probably just figure this out and fix it off the screen. Something like that. But yeah, here it is. Here's the beautiful, let's slow down the game speed here and bring it back. Here's the beautiful unnamed Dutch city. Yeah, if you have name suggestions, let me know. We did a Dutch city before called Elandstad, which roughly translates to Elk City, elk being the closest word I can find to moose. In Dutch, because there's no word for moose, it's just Eland, which just translates to elk. So Elk City we've done before, but if anybody had suggestions, let me know. I'll get this spot cleaned up off camera. I'll figure out what the heck is going on with the water physics here. Classic cities, you know, water jank. And yeah, I hope you're gonna enjoy this city. A one-tile Dutch city building challenge. I know a lot of people do the one-tile Dutch challenges, the one-tile city challenges in like one episode, but I want this to be a full series where we detail this up and have a realistic-looking one-tile Dutch city. So yeah, let me know names. Let me know sort of like. Yeah, name's the big one. I don't know. I don't want to call it Elandstad again, just because we've like already done that. But yeah, let me know what you'd like to see from this. And any suggestions, man. I just want to hear from all of you. I'm nervous to put this out because I'm some Canadian kid, you know, doing his take on the Netherlands. So, you know, don't roast me too hard if it's absolutely horrible and you hate it. It'll look a lot prettier as we progress. This is episode 1 as they go. As always, a huge shout out to the Patreon and Coffee supporters who allow me to keep doing what I'm doing over here. Disney Dude 1, Shane Turner, Fish Bob, Hey Guy Buddy, Braygard, William Epps, the Yed _, Anthropophagic, the Jonah, and Trevor Sabo. If you'd like to support the channel as well, too, links for that is all below. Discord is there. Share your cities. We shout them out over on the Twitch streams. And as always, remember, no matter what life throws at you, you matter. You are loved. You have a purpose. I'm a Canadian Moose. Happy building, everyone. I'll catch you in the next episode.